Talking about Shaun said that's what you said, and I'm like, no, I don't think her body is done because I don't think she has thick thighs. So I can see that.
I heard you clearly say something about her hips not being
I don't
right.
think she has thick thighs. She doesn't have hips, so it wasn't filled properly.
It wasn't filled in properly.
Yeah.
So we're saying the same thing. It wasn't properly done.
No, not okay. Let's accept.
All right. And earlier in the week.
In the Big Brother house, and of course the dynamics in the house is changing. We're seeing new friendships coming up, some friendships dying off. Ebuka on his part is trying to stir up drama. So dragging the housemates and saying that the show has been boring so far. They gave nothing. Well, welcome to the Big Brother Niger updates on Leadership TV. I'm Cynthia Onwado. On the show today, we'll be discussing relationships in the house. We're talking about Anita and Tofa's age brouhaha. We don't know if that's over yet. What Ebuka had to say to some of the housemates, and of course the new changes Big Brother has brought to the game. Some people are developing cold feet while the game is progressing as a result of some family issues. Well, let's get right into the crux of the matter. Let's begin with Anita and Tofa. Of course, this whole age brouhaha. Let's take it back to Friday. They had a bit of squabble about the same age situation where Anita kept on asking Tofa, I just want to know your age. Tell me your age. And it seems that I feel like Anita and Tofa are favorites in the house. A lot of the nice housemates like them because it seems like everybody was involved in their age, issue. Tofa was quite downcast, and a few of the housemates kept on asking him what is wrong, what is it? Is it because of the age thing? Are you fighting with your woman? And blah blah blah. And Tofa was surprisingly quite open to Shaun, explaining to him about the whole age situation. And it's quite funny to me because Shaun actually had something to do with why they are even having this issue. Shaun and Ben, they are the ones that actually brought out this whole age thing that Tofa and Anita are fighting about. And surprisingly, Tofa leaned, on Shaun and shared with him a lot of the the dynamics and the problems he's experiencing in his relationship with Anita. Well, Suj was not quite happy about it, and he didn't like that he was already hearing things about his fellow Aces pair, from other housemates, and he was like, okay, follow me, Yan. What's happening? Why am I hearing things from other people? Why don't you come up and tell me what the issue is? What's your problem with Anita? Share with me. And then he was like, I don't like, sharing things with you because you're always talking about the game. Let me keep my head in the game. And this is not about the game. This is my life. This is something I take quite serious. And when I tell you, you are not so empathic about it. You're always encouraging me to let things go and be a man, put your mind in the game. That's why I don't share stuff like that with you. And it was so sad to see because I don't know why you come into the house as a pair and you have, some sort of problems with other housemates or something bothering you anyway in the house and you can't share with them. So why are you guys even a pair? Why are you guys together? Because you're a shoulder to you people are supposed to be shoulders to lean on for each other. Well, you can see that that's no longer necessary now because Big Brother has reset the game and set all the housemates free. So everybody is playing an individual game right now, and Big Brother warned them and said, if you like continue to eat and sleep, your fate is in your own hands. But we'll be getting into that much later in the show. Let's talk a bit about the eviction show and Ebuka's question to some of the housemates. Some exposures were made actually. Of course, Wanni, the question Ebuka asked Wanni stood out to me, and it was funny because it was just that evening that Wanni and Shaun had that conversation. They were just talking, and Wanni kind of expressed, um, her thoughts to Shaun and said, okay, I like my body, blah blah blah. And all of a sudden, Shaun just changed the conversation and said, I'm surprised that Suj still thinks Nelly body is natural. And Wanni was like, I feel like her hips are not, asymmetrical. They don't look the same. It wasn't filled properly, and blah blah blah. And that had that conversation on Saturday, and Ebuka had to like expose them and talked about the conversation. So what did you mean by that? And Wanni stood around and said, yes, I said it. I feel like her hips don't match. Maybe a bad job was done. And also asked Wanni about what she said about Onika. saying that Onyeka lies to herself a lot. And Wanni was like, yeah, in situations, I feel like Onyeka might be drunk, and then she'll say, okay, I'm not drunk. And sometimes she'll say, I don't like Ozzy, but she likes Ozzy. So that's the context I was talking about. I know Ebuka is just trying to stir up drama because in the beginning of the show, he dragged the housemates and said, you guys are giving nothing. This week was a snooze fest. The whole of week 5, no highlights. Nobody fought, nothing. Nobody was just, they were just hiding, kissing everywhere. And he had to use that to drag Kassia. He actually blew their cover and said, Kassia, why do I see you hiding in the corner, kissing Kelly Ray? And that one was just stammering and said, it was just a kiss. There was nothing there. It was just a kiss. Ebuka taking it upon himself to blow their covers. Also questioning Ozzy. On the media round, he went on throughout the week in the house about Onyeka and why he had to, do that. And I felt like Ozzy was doing aura for aura with Ebuka. They're both lawyers, so he was like lawyer for lawyer. Ozzy was trying to wiggle his way out of the situation. It wasn't, quite direct in his reply. Ebuka was getting impatient with him. Why did you go on a media round complaining about Onyeka? And Ozzy tried to downplay it and said, I was just, telling people how I feel. I wasn't saying things behind her back. Whatever I say to people, I also say in her front. I'm just trying to settle the situation, but we are good right now. So Ebuka moving on to Victoria and said, was any conversation had with Shaun before Wanni and Sandy were picked as, guests in the HOH lounge? And Victoria said, yeah, we had that conversation, it was okay, we had that conversation. And I just feel like Victoria just is this peaceful person that likes to maintain peace, wants her partner to look good and all of that. Because I can't remember any conversation being had about that choice. There's something I noticed about Shaun and Victoria, and I feel like he always tries to trample her. So when they won that HOH game, it was almost like, okay, yeah, I go first. I pick Wanni X Handy. So no conversation of any kind was even, had. And I think that was the drama Ebuka was trying to pick up from the housemates. But right after the eviction show, the kumbaya continued. Of course, radicals were evicted from the house, and Ebuka kind of asked them, how this week have gone for them, and they said, okay, the week was good, but Femi especially said I was already getting tired of the house. I really wanted to go home and blah 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 blah. So this particular scenario that we've noticed in the house in the past few days, it's almost like everybody is at peace with each other. I mean, after the evictions show, I saw Shaun and Topa discussing, and they were talking about what else do Ebuka want from us. I don't know how to do. Shaun was like, I don't know how to do first fight, first content, and Topa was agreeing and said, nobody should come to me with first content, or you know. And he was of the opinion so far that women carry the show, and the fact that most of the women are in ships, yes, and they have their own special friends group. So that's why everywhere is like calm. When you are done for the day, you go back to your man, you cuddle, you do this, you do that. So there's really no need for any anger or fight or anything. Or is it that the housemates are just cowards? Because Ebuka keeps giving them materials to work with every single Saturday, but we just see Kumbaya happening. I think the only successful violence that Ebuka has cracked so far was the Ruti and Wanni X Handy thing. Yeah, where Ebuka exposed Ruth and Ruti and what she had to say about Wanni X Handy with the kitchen issue, them not being helpful to her, not giving her food and all. I think that one quite lasted till Ruti's eviction. I think that's one successful task that Ebuka will give himself kudos for. But the rest, it's just he gives them materials to work with, and it just kumbaya from then on. All right. Even the Nelly's bot situation, I know Sud was quite unhappy about it, and at a point, Shaun was requesting that he wants to have a conversation with Nelly, and Nelly was unready to even have that conversation. She said, okay, you've already said it, so there's no need for me to come and, discuss anything. You've already said it, so stand on it. But minutes later, we saw Nelly having that conversation with Shaun. We really didn't get to see because the camera didn't really pan on them effectively. So we didn't know what that discussion was about. But later at night, I think Shaun and Wanni were going over the events of the day, and Wanni was talking about it not coming from a malicious place. She didn't say that about Nelly's butt in a malicious way. She just, said it in a way that this is what I've noticed. So it's not like she dislikes Nelly or she's jealous or whatever. And then Shaun was like, okay, he also had a conversation with Nelly, and Nelly said that, she's also from a family of thick women. They're quite thick in their family. So, she doesn't feel any type of way. She's not angry. Even Victoria has asked her that question and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just surprised. Okay. Ebuka felt he gave them materials to work with. If it were some particular people, the house would come down that particular night. I don't want to mention names, but we know there are some housemates, former housemates, that wouldn't have taken this lightly. And it felt like even Suj was more angry than Nelly, because it was, from the conversation they have earlier had that discussion with Shaun about Nelly's body. They've discussed Nelly's body. You know how guys discuss now, like talk about women's body in the house. And he said they had that conversation, and he said that he didn't like that Shaun went back and had the same conversation with Wanni, that should have been something between two guys. Why would you now go and tell your girlfriend what you discussed with me and start dissecting it and all of that? So he was quite disappointed in Shaun. That's Suj saying this now. He didn't expect it to be an entire conversation with, Shaun's girlfriend in the house. Well, Wanni was quite calm about it, which is quite surprising. I know she has said numerous times that there's an image she's trying to project in the house with the kind of brands that she wants to work with outside of the house. She doesn't want to give herself this image of being a violent, quarrelsome, loud person. So I think that should be the only explanation, because there have been so many scenarios that would have felt Nelly would lose her cool. Even with the whole starting from the Chinwe thing, with the whole gold jewelry accusation, all the other animosity and all that. We've not really seen Nelly quarrel or lose her cool in the house, except with probably Ozzy. Yes, Ozzy. That was the only time we saw her really loud. But I mean, it seems like it's making the show boring. The show is not even giving what it's supposed to give, because you're just on a kumbaya. It's like they're on a kumbaya cruise, or they just came for vacation, because nobody is dragging anybody, no highlights, there's nothing to look forward to. So what are these housemates doing? Okay, at night they try to play a game of charade, do this, kiss this person, do that person, but still it just wasn't giving. I really don't know what is missing in this particular season. Is it the personalities in the house? Is it that they just can't come up with something interesting? Maybe the game plan or something. I mean, I know one person that have been quite dynamic is Onyeka. Onyeka has had numerous storylines with the Ozzy, with Suj, with her sister Chizoba. That's one person that I feel like is really giving something to talk about. The rest are just really like kumbaya. I'm not against it, but this is a reality show. We need to give us something to work with. That's why investors invested in that business in the first place. That's why people subscribe to to these channels to watch this. So it's almost like it's a snooze fest. It's not giving what it's supposed to give. So I think this game reset that Big Brother came up with might actually be something that would bring up more dynamics in the house. Okay, let's talk about the reset. I know Big Brother called them to the lounge after the eviction show when the timer went off. Remember, there had been a timer in the house since on Friday. The timer went off, and then they gave them these capes to wear. They were wearing the capes, and he took them into the arena and gave them praises, all the pairs, gave them words of encouragement, and then announced that the pairs had been dissolved. So everybody was, from today onward, or rather from Sunday, going to be playing an individual game. So your fate is in your hands. You are no more leaning on your pair or an alliance or whatever. You are going to be playing your game alone. So your fate is in your own hands. However you play your game, it's what is going to work for you. So we don't know what the money is now. People that have been screaming, the money is this, the money is that, the money is this. We don't know what the money is at the moment. I think it's actually good, it's priced things up, but I felt that the pairs were going to be exchanged. That was what I was thinking anyway, and that was what I saw on the website. But surprisingly, he just separated everybody. But then it's Biggie's house and Biggie's rule. Whatever we see we take. All right, we don't have a say in it. It's his house, so let him go ahead and do whatever he wants to do. But then I don't really know. What do you guys think about this unpairing of a thing? Is it going to bring up more dynamics, like talking about betrayal? Yes, we are seeing some pairs that are, even since the unpairing, we've not even really sat down to have a conversation with each other. And I'm like, okay, won't you like be strategized? It's funny that after this unpairing, we saw Shaun and Victoria sitting down to have a conversation like, okay, who do you want to nominate on Monday? Blah blah blah. And Shaun said he wants to put up checkers. He wants to put up Onyeka or Chizoba or both of them at the same time. It was quite surprising because I'm like, okay, let's watch and see people who are still going to even have that chemistry within themselves even without this pairing. Because even with the pairing, it felt like some people were already like miles apart. They don't even see eye to eye. Taking it back to Tofa and Suj, the fact that Tofa felt like he can't even come to Suj to discuss things bothering him in the house was quite scary, because I'm like, this person is supposed to be like your shadow. You came into this show with this person, so you hold on to them. But then when you start having those feelings of uncertainty, you can't trust that person, you can't lean on that person, that kind of betrays the essence of why you even came into the show with the person in the first place. But moving on, let us wait and see the dynamics that will come to play from this. But were you please let me know in the comment section if you were, expecting this, and what you think this particular unpairing is going to bring to the game, the changes it's going to bring to the game. Right, finally, let's move on now to Suj and Nelly. We saw at night time, Suj talking to Nelly about the fact that he's not really free in the house. He feels like can't give it his all because he doesn't want to disgrace his family, fall their hand. There are some things he wants to do, but he can't do them. There are things he wants to say, he can't say them. He's always looking forward to like, okay, what will my family think if they see me doing this and if they hear me saying this and all that. So Nelly was kind of advising him and telling him, okay, moving forward, the only person you have to care about is you yourself, you Samuel Osuji. You are the person you have to care about. Because even if your family, one of them was living here with you, they want you to have fun. They want you to be happy, do things out of the ordinary, things that you not normally do on an everyday basis. So you are here already, and it's like in a once in a lifetime opportunity. So why would you want to waste it, putting yourself under so much pressure? What will my family think? What would they say if they hear me saying this, if they see me doing this? And Sush says coming into the house, he was, excited. He said, okay, it's not just 3 months, come and sit and stay. But then somebody told him that this house had a spirit, and then you see yourself doing things that normally you wouldn't even do. And then he was like, okay, yeah, I agree with it. Everybody in this house is from a respectable family. There's nobody here that is not from a respectable family. There are people here, their family members are watching them. But you don't have to hold yourself up from from doing what you want to do because your family is watching you. That no matter what you do in this house, your family will never like throw you away and say, okay, because you did it on national TV, go away. The only people that would never ever throw you away are your family. And I kind of related with those words Nelly said to Sue, because sometimes I feel like he's so introverted and stuck up. That's how I see Sue. In the last few weeks, he has actually started opening up. But that explains that personality. I mean, all of them in that house is dealing with something. So people came into the house to be themselves. So people came into the house and decided this is the personality I want to project. I want to be loud. I want to be a party animal. I want to cause problem. But some people came into the house and even some of the plans that they had outside, they couldn't activate it inside. So I actually believe that the Big Brother house had a spirit. Sometimes you make plans from outside and then you come in and then you can't even activate those plans. You see yourself doing something different than what you even planned. So that's why I always encourage everybody to be, to be empathic with the housemates. When I see people dragging these housemates, insulting them and the rest, I'm like, you are not there. You don't know what you would do if you are stuck in that house. You don't know how you behave. So you now insulting these housemates for them just being human. It's really not fair. It's really not good. So I think you should just let them, be themselves. Support the person you want to support. Support your faith without dragging others. And that's just all I have to say, really. Because at the end of the day, these housemates are humans. Alright, they will not be perfect, they will not do what you want them to do, they will only do them. And if you say you love them, you take them the way they are. If you don't support them, then I don't see any need, insulting them or whatever, because all of them, they are dealing with their own personal, issues. But I'm excited about this week. I can't wait to see what the week has in store, the dynamics, what will change. I hope the housemates will give drama though to keep us entertained. But of course, we'll be here to deliver all of those juicy details to you on Leadership TV, Big Brother Niger updates. I'll be back tomorrow with more exciting episodes. Bye.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last